videoing?
I am videoing.
Oh, okay. Well, we have Jason. We're doing drivability after Steve did an extensive amount of work on the Weber carburetors and jetted them properly and made sure the choke was off because the car had been running on choke half its time. We've also disconnected the electric fuel pump now that we've got an original fuel pump in place. We've got real nice drivability. What else? Let's see. We got a buzz on the dash here that is driving us crazy. We don't know where that's coming from. We're going to fix the do some of the sun visor. It's all loose up here for whatever reason. But you notice I'm in fourth, and we got this is fourth, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fourth right there.
There's fourth. Anyway, we got real good low-speed drivability, which is amazing for Webers. Oh, good temperature, good oil pressure. The heater is on all the time on this side. Is it on that side, or can you tell?
Yes, it's on.
Okay, so the heaters are on all the time, and I don't know if anybody wants us to do anything about those. What else were we discussing that you could think of?
We put a pedal pad on the.
Oh, you got brake pedal has a rubber pad on it where it didn't before. What else we did?
Straighten the.
Yeah, the chrome horn ring was straightened. If someone had screwed with it, it doesn't do anything except honk the horn. So don't use it for turn signals. They're right here.
We got new shift bushings in it, and the transmission is all nice and tight.
So that's good.
We gave the update on the clutch linkage pedal assembly, so we're good on that front.
Yeah, even though the clutch is kind of not exactly factory correct, it does work and works just fine, so we're going to leave that alone. We're debating on the electric fuel pump. If you're going to keep the electric fuel pump, I'm going to suggest is we hook it up to the cold start choke so it comes on momentarily, because it does not need to be on all the time, right?
No, if anything, it overpowers the floats on the Webers and causes it to potentially flood, especially now that we've got a good correct fuel pump on it.
Yeah, and that fuel pump works fine, and
we're running the car on the original style factory fuel pump right now. We don't have the electric pump in the system at all as far as function.
Yeah, we bypassed it. Steve bypassed it and disconnected it electrically, so it's just sitting there. There's nothing wrong with having an electric fuel pump as a momentary boost to the manual fuel pump, but it does not need to be on all the time. Once again, we got excellent drivability. The temperature's holding steady, so it's what, a 90-degree day, and we got just normal temperature and normal oil pressure. I'm trying to think of what else.
Third gear, 20 miles an hour, 20 miles, 2,000 RPM with good throttle response.
Something else I was going to mention, most people don't realize the ignition switch is spring-loaded. You have to push in against a spring and then turn very slowly to turn the ignition on, because you can, if you don't push in against the spring-loaded feature and you twist, you can ruin the very expensive ignition lock. And in order to replace that lock, you've got to pull your steering column and steering wheel and everything. So push against the
push
spring.
in against the spring and before you turn the tumbler.
There you go. And then turn it slowly. Don't snap it into position like it's a brand new Lexus or something, or whatever. Oh, that's right. The brakes pull to the left. Let's see. Let's do a brake demonstration while we're here. Hands off. And we're going to slam on the brakes. Alright. See, that's not supposed to do that. So we've got...
we got a brake pull. We've also got play in the steering box.
Okay.
It gives us a little bit of play in the steering.
Right, so we're pulling to the left. That means that the lefts are working and the right is not. Is that correct?
That is correct. Or at least the left is working better than the right.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, buddy. Come on. Dumb shit. Excuse me. So we got issues there. We know the steering gearbox is sloppy. So but it's primarily a brake issue, and it could. Let's try another. See if it'll straighten out with use of the brakes. That doesn't work so good. So
now
we got a brake issue, braking issue. Everything from wheel cylinders not working to glazed brake shoes. Friction
Bad
discs,
friction adjusters.
rubber brake hose could be stuck. We'll check we'll check the wheels when we get there. Make sure we don't have a stuck cylinder or brake hose or shoes. We'll check that temperature of the wheels when we get back. But it rolls smoothly, so it's probably not.
It doesn't have a dragging brake. It just may have an operating brake.
That's it. Yeah. You know. Anything else that we can think of on the old Devil? We need to put some. I'm just gonna put some fresh fuel in there because I know the fuel is stinky and old. So we'll top off a few gallons of fuel. We aired up the tires. They were low all around. The fronts especially were low. New oil filter, of course, and someone had forgotten to put all the seals inside the oil filter canister to seal up the oil filter, so we got that taken care of.
We did a valve latch adjustment on it.
And yes, that was very important. They were seriously out of adjustment.
We also found that the timing was the advance was working incorrectly. It was advancing way too fast.
Rebuilt the starter of because it was not
The distributor.
I'm sorry. Yes, the distributor. What was the distributor not doing? It was not returning.
The advance was advancing too fast, and then it wasn't going back to its base setting quickly. Like it had a bad advance weight and was just out of parameter.
Right. So take care of that. And of course, got the new starter and the new Optima battery.
Right. And we checked the charging system, and the charging system generator's working great.
Yeah, I have a video of that, but we got 13.6, didn't we?
I can't remember, but that sounds about right.
Yeah. But see how nicely this thing pulls? Very nice. Very nice.
All right. Well, I think that's all we got for now. So
Good for a start. They'll keep him busy watching and bored.
all right.
Thanks for your patience, Jason.